President Trump has signed an executive order eliminating federal funding of both National Public Radio and the Public Broadcasting Service. We'll talk about how that affects what you're watching right now.
It is the final show of the semester, so make sure you stay tuned for my full weather forecast.
And a blast into space? Well, not quite, but almost. We'll have a look at Jal High School's rocket program. All of that and more right now.
Mexico, your local source for news, sports, and first weather.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to News 3 New Mexico. I'm Thomas Mariscal.
And I'm Deja Ramos. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. A fatal crash in Lee County reported by the Lee County Sheriff's Office. According to a post made on their Facebook, on Wednesday morning, just at 8:40 a.m., deputies were dispatched to Tatum following reports of an overturned vehicle. Upon arrival, deputies found a 1997 Chevy Silverado on its roof. Regino Luevaneva, age 72, was found dead at the scene. Initial investigation found that he was traveling south on Highway 206. The car broke through a barbed wire fence and continued for another 1.5 miles, eventually striking a pile of wood. The collision caused the vehicle to go airborne for approximately 82 feet, landing multiple times. Mr. Luevaneva was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from the vehicle.
Late last evening, President Trump issued an executive order directing the Corporation for Public Broadcasting Board of Directors to cease all direct or indirect funding for the National Public Radio, known as NPR, and also for the Public Broadcasting Station, known as PBS. The Trump administration cites that the CPB, or the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, must fund only fair, accurate, unbiased, nonpartisan news coverage, and that the CPB fails to abide by these principles to the extent it subsidizes NPR and PBS, saying that the viewpoints they promote does not matter. The executive order also says that neither entity present a fair, accurate, or unbiased portrayal of current events. Notably, PBS received millions in funding after Mr. Fred Rogers, the host of the widely popular Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, went and testified in front of a Senate subcommittee.
All of the affiliated stations, each station pays to show our program. It's a unique kind of funding in educational television.
Today, PBS is watched by 58% of Americans at over 130 million people. And in 2025, and for the 22nd year in a row, PBS, along with every member station like KENW, ranked #1 in public trust. For those who are worried about the future of KENW and our broadcasting of PBS through our TV station and NPR through our FM station, we will still be on air. Thanks to community service grants from the CPB, over 1,200 public radio stations and 365 public television stations are able to bring you the content that you love. Along with those grants, we are able to run on support from viewers like you. You know, Drake, I want to say thank you so much for filling in throughout the semester. You know, Lainey's going through some stuff, and yeah, I'm just happy you're here.
I'm just doing what I can.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. But go ahead and tell us about that weather. It should be warming up soon, right?
It is around here, but it's not warming up everywhere, let me tell you. If we take a look at the map, we can see that in New Mexico that there is a little baby amount of storms in Albuquerque. It'll come up here in a second, I promise. There they are, and that's really all that's going on. They'll dissipate into the night. However, the storm I want to talk about is the one on the southeast side of Texas. As you can see, there is a massive storm cell, and with that comes plenty of rain. There's a tornado warnings throughout that entire area, flash flood warnings, and there's going to be hail about 2 inches in size. Now that's larger than golf ball. That will be plenty to damage your house and car. So make sure you stay informed on how you can best be prepared. That's all for my first weather. Back to you, Deja.
Thank you, Drake. The Portales Fire Department has released their monthly report of calls. In total, the Portales Fire Department responded to over 230 calls, most of which were for emergency medical services. The total number of services administered is down by almost 70. It also boosts the improved response times on all sections of both Portales and the entire county.
Residents of Clovis and Portales have yet another celebration they can attend tomorrow, the 53rd Annual Pioneers Day Parade. The parade, themed this year as American Cowboy, celebrates the pioneers who were first settled in the eastern plains of New Mexico. It will kick off tomorrow at 10 a.m. on Main Street. For those wanting to celebrate throughout the whole day and have more to enjoy, the final PRCA rodeo events of this 3-day celebration taking place at the Curry County Events Center.
Yesterday was the Portales Junior High's annual Job Shadow Day. This event gives students at Portales Junior High School a chance to take a sneak peek at a career that they are interested in. The schools partnered with businesses in the area in order to make this happen. Students spent the school day learning about their chosen profession. Here are some examples of the jobs that were shadowed by a few students. RGH, the ENMU Music Department, Hampton Farms, the Roosevelt County Sheriff's Office, and so many more. We even had a student choose to shadow here at the KENW broadcast station. The event was a major success and gave students a better understanding of real-world jobs. Celebration for Smokey Bear's 81st birthday kicks off tomorrow in Capitan, where they are hosting a celebration at Smokey Bear Historical Park. If you are ready to attend the party, it starts at 10 a.m. with a parade on Smokey Bear Boulevard. His birthday cake will be cut at 11 a.m. near the park's entrance, and other festivities like a firefighter challenge and cornhole tournament will continue into the evening. Some other highlights for the event include craft vendors, plenty of food, and family-friendly activities. It's a wonderful way to celebrate Smokey Bear and conservation education, and it is completely free to attend.
Well, the College of Fine Arts and the Department of Music are rounding out their semester with their last few concerts. First off, tonight is the Senior Project Highs and Lows concert of Mr. Parker Yee and Mr. Nacho Perez. They are two seniors, both graduating this semester with their Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in music education. Parker Yee will play the euphonium and Nacho Perez will be on trumpet. The concert will begin this evening at 7 p.m. and will feature works by Clark, Youngs, Gillingham, Buckley, and Satori. The Department of Music is also hosting a concert on Sunday, May 4th. The performances will be from the Symphonic Band and the Wind Symphony. The concert is located in Buchanan Hall inside the music building on campus. The concert will boast music from the world's most popular composers like the legendary John Philip Sousa and John Williams. It will also boast a supersized surprise from Dr. Sidney Schuller, so you definitely don't want to miss it. The event starts at 3 p.m. and is completely free, so if you want a great way to start out your Sunday evening, head on down to the music building and support your local music students.
Coming up after the break, we'll have a special look at the Systems Go program in Jal, New Mexico, where students launch rockets.
I'll take you through my full weather report, but first, here's a quick look at today's financial market. Welcome back to News 3 New Mexico. I'm Drake Long, here to take you through my full weather report. Now, as I was saying, wrong side, we have a big storm cell over in Texas, and that goes all the way up to Toronto. That entire area is going to be hit with that hail and the flash flood warnings I was talking about earlier. Going into New Mexico one more time, you can see that those little bitty storms are going to form up for a while and then dissipate here about 11 o'clock tonight. So you have no problems with that at all. Going into current temperatures over here, we have Gallup at 66, Farmington at 73, Socorro at 68, and Alamogordo at 65. Coming on to the eastern side, we have Clovis at 62, Roswell at 71, Santa Rosa at 68, and Portales at 64. Looking into tonight's lows, it's going to be chilly with Farmington at 49, Gallup at 40, Silver City at 46, and Las Cruces at 52. Once again, going to home base, we have Portales at 48, Santa Rosa at 46, Tucumcari at 48, Amarillo at 47, and Lubbock at 50. Tomorrow's highs are going to be warmer than today. We have Albuquerque at 73, Ruidoso at 63, Alamogordo and Las Cruces at 77, twinsies. Coming back to home base once again, we have Clovis at 75, Tucumcari at 75, Roswell at 79, Portales at 77. Tomorrow night's lows, we're going to have Santa Fe at 39, Albuquerque at 46, Alamogordo at 48, and Portales at 45. Going into my 7-day forecast, we are looking at Roswell, 79 on Saturday, 75 on Sunday with thunderstorms, 74 on Monday, cooling down to 64 on Tuesday, 71 on Wednesday, 76 on Thursday, and on Friday, heating back up at 81. Tucumcari, we have 75 on Saturday, Sunday, 72 with thunderstorms, and those thunderstorms go into most of the week. Monday, 62, Tuesday, 53, Wednesday, 61, and Thursday, 69. Portales, we have bright and sunny Saturday, 77, winds on Sunday at 72, some thunderstorms on Monday and Tuesday, but the rest of the week is riding out in the 60s to 70s.
You know, I'm really looking forward to kind of the cool temperature, the 70s. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I prefer the cool temperatures personally, but I hate that wind.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In the summer, it'll be hot and even windier. Yeah. Well, that's all we have for now. We'll be right back after this break. Jal High School just had its Systems Go launch, an event held locally that several high schools from across New Mexico and Texas came to compete.
News 3 New Mexico's Lorenzo Solis has the coverage.
Out here in the southern New Mexico desert, you wouldn't expect to find much other than the booming oilfield industry. But what if I told you one teacher from JAL is running a program that is taking his students to new heights?
3, 2, 1.
Here in JAL, New Mexico, there are a variety of opportunities offered to each and every student, from culinary to shop, even oil field safety programs coming next semester. But none have been as amazing as the rocketry program. Being an alumni of JAL High School, I was able to sit down with the coach making all of this possible and get his perspective on the program.
So my name is Nathan Richard. I am the teacher of rocket science here in JAL. I teach 2 rocket classes. It's really 3 different rocket classes, but I teach it in 2 different periods. One of them combines 2 of the levels. Above that, I'm an assistant principal. My role there is I cover all of the CTE stuff, so the culinary department. I oversee the rockets. I've taught that class for, I think this is year number 9. So the first year that students are in rockets, we call it the Tchaikovsky level. And really we call it the 1 pound, 1 mile, because the other name is kind of hard to say. So what they do is the first semester, they learn a whole bunch of science, and really what it boils down to is physics. By spring break, they are designing a rocket that takes a 1 pound payload 1 mile in the air. So they have certain parameters in order to do that. And they're given that, and like I said, it's their design. Design software called RockSim. That's what we've used since we started in 9 years ago. They designed this rocket in there, and then they have to build it to their design. It's not something that comes in a kit. It's something that they have to research materials, research components. They have to decide as a team, okay, which of these are going to be best based on how much they are, you know, you're given a budget. And so they make decisions based on what they think is going to give themselves the best success. That's the first level. The second level kind of builds on that. It's called the Olberth level. So those are students that have completed the first level. And they begin the year by building an Excel spreadsheet that is a mathematical model or mathematical simulation, a transonic rocket. So they have to calculate altitude, they have to calculate velocity, they have to calculate acceleration, they have to calculate drag, they have to calculate all the different forces, the force of gravity, the force of drag, the force of the thrust, and also build in recovery. So that's a task, and those Excel spreadsheets, they end up being very, very complicated. And when they get done with that, they do the same thing that the first year does. They design their rocket in RockSim. But once they get into RockSim, they start picking components and deciding and making decisions, and they get a design, and then they have to build to that design. And finally, we piloted von Braun level last year. That kind of is a little different spin on the transonic course. They have to do the same thing. They have to build the flight profile, except their goal is to take a rocket not past the speed of sound, right? So they're not going Mach 1, they're going Mach 1.25. So we consider that supersonic. The only exception with that, with the von Braun level, is they're given a list of 9 different components, and they have to fabricate 6 of them. So they can't buy a nose cone, for example. My kids this year, they 3D printed a nose cone, which turned out really awesome. Here's somewhere I have, this was one of the prototype versions, and you can see it kind of lifted up from the print bed. And so the bottom is not exactly square. That's a big task, either way, to fabricate parts that are going to go Mach 1.25. And I'm really proud of where the program has gone and is currently. Well, and I think our program's success is really attributed to those kids. You know, I think our superintendent and the principal who asked me to teach rocket, they started that program here. They tried to initiate it, and so their vision is definitely has contributed to that. But the kids, I mean, they've really taken a hold of it, and they set a high expectation of themselves, and they get it done. I tell students every single year, I said, I'm giving you the keys of the bus. If we end up in the ditch, you're the one driving. And I'll tell you, and I've told every buddy that I've talked to, whether I run into them at the store and they ask about rockets, or somebody calls me from a newspaper or wherever, that, you know, it's really about the kids. Like, I really don't do anything. I make sure they stay safe. You know, if they're really struggling, I try to kind of point them in a direction, but they get all the credit, they get all the glory. So they do the work. It's definitely attributed to them. I think our program success is really attributed to our kids here in JAL and the success we've had. And one of the things that I love about the program is that it builds skills that are so important as you step off into adulthood or into a career. Skills about teamwork, skills about problem solving, thinking outside the box, and those are things that can really help you in your journey. It allows me to do this and allows students to learn important skills, and it also lets them take the credit for it, because they know at the end of the day, if the rocket doesn't get built, it's not because I didn't do it, because they know I'm not going to do it. That's been kind of the philosophy from day one. We have yet to not launch a rocket. So
If you wish to catch the launch next year, you'll have to wait until April as students from each and every high school from Lake Arthur, Hobbs, Loving, Lovington, Gel, Hagerman, and other schools across New Mexico and Texas get ready to launch next year. This has been Lorenzo Solis with News 3 New Mexico, signing off.
Now that this year's launch has concluded, each team from across New Mexico gears up for their next competition. With seniors leaving each year, each predecessor picks up the slack for this next season. We wish each team luck in the next launch. Coming up after the break, Lorenzo will have his full sports report for you.
And we'll have a look on how the Lone Star Conference Outdoor Track and Field Championships are going.
Welcome back, sports fans, to News 3 New Mexico. My name is Lorenzo Solis, and let's take a dive into today's report. Well, the Lone Star Conference Outdoor Track and Field Championship have kicked off. Hosted by Eastern New Mexico and broadcasted in partnership with KENW, we have a bit of footage for you. So far, day one was a success. We had 3 athletes scoring points and 5 advancing to the finals. 2 schools' records were also broken. The Hounds dominated with 3 runners in 100-meter hurdles sprinting into the finals. Devin Erickson, Stranja Radovic, and Braden Monio. And then in the 200-meter dash, 2 runners made it through Grizel Scarlett and Timothy Frederick. We also had 2 athletes take home bronze medals. Minerva Cerda Hernandez took 3rd in pole vault at 3.5 meters or 11.5 feet. And Braden Munoz took the 3rd in triple jump and the 13.72 meters or 45 feet. That was just day 1. So with the rest of day 2 today and all of day 3 tomorrow, this is bound to be one heck of a meet for our Greyhounds. Bringing us to another race, but instead of on 2 legs, they're on all 4. The Kentucky Derby festivities are in full swing with the Kentucky Oaks racing today. Tomorrow is the official race kicking off at 6:57 p.m. Eastern Time, which for Mountain Time is 4:57. This year, 19 horses are racing, with Grande being scratched this morning, and a few horses to look for tomorrow are Admire Daytona from Dubai. He will be coming out of Gate 6. Luxor Cafe from Japan coming out of Gate 7. And Metallica's favorite horse this year, Sandman. One of 2 grays this year coming out of Gate 17. Good luck to all the trainers and jockeys tomorrow. That is all the sports I have for you for this semester, and what a wonderful time it has been. You'll be back with Deja and Thomas right after the break.
Welcome back. Well, that's really all the news we have for you tonight.
And actually, all the news we have for you this semester.
What a semester it has been.
Yes, we've really enjoyed having this opportunity. It's been really, really great.
Yeah.
Getting to come out here and provide news for you, it's really been a great experience.
And once again, I really want to say thank you to both you for covering for Lainey and Lorenzo for covering for KJ. Yeah, it's been really special to work with all five, all of it,
Everybody here.
everyone here in the station.
My favorite
really.
team so far.
Absolutely.
Well, like I said, this is all we have for you tonight.
All right, thank you so much for joining us.
And we will see you next semester.